Azizatu Sani is a producer with Radio Nigeria, and her program Street Children has found a corner in the hearts of many who listen to it. She has indeed found a good platform to exercise her accommodation and tolerance for other persons in the world, particularly children. Azizatu had all her upbringing in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, and as she announces her deep Muslim faith to whoever wants to know, she doesn't hold back the fact that her early religious life started from Christian roots.
My background is built on that, my Islamic teachings and orientation by my parents, but especially my mom, and then examples by my father. But like I said, I schooled in Abuja, but then I also schooled in a Catholic school, a primary school. My primary school was Madonna International Nigerian Primary School. So I know a lot about the Catholics and their worship, a way of worship. And that has made me respect other religion because my mother told that line to make me respect other religion.
As earlier mentioned, Azizat produces a children's program which seeks to rescue minors from the streets and also drops a few morals on how they should grow. She glibly points out how Islam has helped her achieve a healthy relationship with persons in other faiths.
As a Muslim, we are taught to love our neighbors the way we love ourselves, just the same way the Christians are taught. We are taught to respect people and be just to people. We are also taught to acknowledge people for who they are and respect their boundaries. So those things have really helped me mingle with people. When I was in university, in my school, in my room, in the hostel, I was only Muslim in the midst of 10 female colleagues or female co-hosts in the hostel there, and we lived together because I respect everybody and I understand. When you go to church, say how was service, and when I come back, they'll ask you, oh, didn't go to the mosque today? I say no, I'm off Salah. That means when the woman is in a period, we don't go to the mosque. So they understand that. So there's that understanding, and I lived in the midst of my friends and co-tenant in the hostel. Well, my best friend in university was the Catholic, Rita Kaladima, and so we even won best clique in our set.
Azizatu's treatise on the ideal interfaith interaction was lucid and focused. Since she lives in a society that is challenged in terms of morals, the question of how to stay sane and retain integrity in the face of declining religious and social values was presented. It is difficult, but resolving quite early in life the path to walk really helps, as Azizatu explains.
Because of my religious background, I was able to understand at that very young age what was right and what was wrong. And I was able to toy a path for myself. I remember before entering school, I asked God for 3 things. I said, 1, I don't want to fight with anybody. 2, I don't want to go against authorities in school. I don't want them to call me in front of assembly and they will lash me. And 3, I didn't want to go out with anybody in school or date anybody in school because it was a mixed school, both male and female boarding house. And so that really guided the way I lived in school and the kind of friends I keep and my way of doing things. I was actually different from others because I just was more focused on what I wanted to achieve. And by the grace of God, yes, I achieved those things. I didn't date anybody in school because I deliberately didn't want to. And I felt it was not something that I needed at that time in my life. And it really helped me put my religious line into perspective, my academic life into perspective, and what I really wanted to achieve because I knew I had challenges at that stage. I mean, at that stage, as at GS3, I didn't know how to spell right. I knew the answers, but to write it down was quite difficult for me. And so at that point, I just knew I had to focus more on self-development, both spiritually, education-wise, and knowing who I really was. And my religion really played a part in that.
There is a constant temptation among members of a production crew where one individual is pushed by greed to pocket monies given out to the entire group to offset inconveniences in the course of their work. Azizatu found herself in one of such situations. She talks about it.
During the course of my work, we edited, we interviewed a personality. And afterwards, the personality called me to handle the money that will give other production crew that came around. And if the temptation was there, I was like, okay, if I want to share, let me just take my own and just tell them this is what they gave. But then I kept, my spirit was not just settled for it, because that's not who I am. I'm someone that is very truthful. I just say this is what it is. I say whatever it is, let me just present it the way it is, and let us share it. And so I had to fight that thought of presenting what it was not. As I just went straight to them, I said, okay, they've sent so amount to my money, to my account. I think it was 80,000 naira, and we're just 3. So what I could have done was just take 40 and give 40 to them and tell them that was what they gave. And they would both take 20, but I take 40. But then I understood the fact that they were the one that championed the whole, they started planning for the whole interview. I just came in the middle of it.
Azizatu got in the middle of it, and so didn't feel as entitled as those who planned the interview. That's a noble way of telling oneself the truth. An individual like Azizatu might be scoffed at by those who live by the belief that if you can't beat them, the best thing to do is to join them. But virtue would always reward itself, while the truth would come out eventually. One colleague of hers, Ibrahim Shaibu, has a few words of salute to Azizatu's resolve to be and stay different. And we quote,
I have known Azizatu since 2013. She simply personifies the virtuous woman. She is gentle, disciplined, hardworking, and highly religious. These attributes have earned her so much respect, not only among her immediate colleagues, but people in the entire radio house as well. Her self-pride has instilled in her the discipline of not being carried away with material things. All these attributes could only have resulted from good parenting.
End of quote. Azizatu easily passes as one of the youngest among nominees for this edition of Models of Integrity, but lay this on the boldness of her responses and you'll just have to doff your hat for a woman of notable frankness and integrity.